Everything looking good. I think we need a microphone. And we need some headphones. We need some headphones here. They're all tangled up again. We need some headphones. There. Hey, Kathy's here. I decided to go with palm trees and the MXL Blizzard microphone. Does it sound all right? At the last minute, I had to switch converters. My other converter went haywire. I don't know what the hell went wrong with it. And it's the better one of the two. Really pissed me off. I paid good money for that thing, and it went. I plugged the mic in, and I was doing a little bit of a sound check, and there was a bunch of static, and then nothing. So I had to go get the old converter, which I really don't like this one, but hey, any port in a storm. I like this microphone though. I wish the LEDs flashed, but yeah, this one's the Blizzard, and I'm trying to find one they call the Blaze. It's got a black bottom, and I can't remember if it's silver or gold, but it lights up red. They call it the Blaze. That's one of the MXLs that I'm missing. I don't know why my buddy never bought one. God, he bought every other MXL on the market, and no Blaze. Oh, is that cool? I just noticed I have a sound bar in the corner, and it gives me the volume. Oh, is that cool? I never saw that before. Yeah, I like it. I really should use it more often. It's a cool microphone. I think it's sitting up a little high, isn't it? Come on, just a little bit. Easy, easy. There. Be my luck. Everything will go crashing again. So did you watch some of the videos of that UPS plane crash? Man, it looks even worse today after they put the fire out. Man, what a path of destruction that thing left. Although you figure it was going 200 miles an hour. Although on most of the newscasts, now I didn't watch all of them. I was looking for Sully. Remember after the Miracle on the Hudson, and after he retired, any any item whatsoever to do with aircraft, they brought Sully on as the expert. I haven't I haven't seen Sully yet. Oh, I look better on TV, Ron. I look wonderful on my big screen. I look great when I'm on that big 63-inch Samsung flat screen. I like to watch myself. Every now and then I'll get bored with interrogation videos. So I'll just put in WDWL TV and then watch myself. I mentioned that to Marianne one day. She goes, "Gee, isn't that a little bit vain watching yourself on TV?" I, oh, come on. Have you parked it now? Oh. I have a special request, and I'll probably do it maybe Sunday. I don't know. I was having a long chat with my little sister today. She ordered a up in Vermilion, around by McGarvey's. They're building. They redid the whole park, and they're building a big veteran section. And you buy pavers, and they had two sizes. They had a 4x4, and then they have an 8x8. The 8x8 is like $200. So she asked me to lay it out for her. My father's name, World War II, his rank, years of service. So I don't know how we got on the topic of my grandparents. And I mentioned to her, I said, "Oh, you should have been around when they were buying cars." And I started to explain, and she goes, "Oh, do another YouTube on it. I want to watch it on YouTube." I said, "Okay." So I will be doing the story of how my grandparents bought cars. I'm looking forward to it. I have a lot of fun with it because nobody believes the way they bought cars. Well, that's what I tried to tell her, Kathy. Although she thinks all this YouTube stuff is hokey, as she puts it. Oh, it's all hokey. Oh, okay. Well, we're gonna do it again, Kathy. Dedicating to my baby sister. I started to explain, and she goes, "No, no, 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 no. Do it on YouTube. I want to see the expressions." I said, "Okay." So I laid out the diagram. They send you a diagram, and I put everything in, and I shot her a text message, and I said, I think this paver would look really great. The only thing is, we're not sure on his years of service, and the order's got to be in by Monday midnight. I said, you better make some phone calls to the Department of Defense because she can't find his DD 214 anywhere. And the nice thing is, when they get this section all done, the pavers are lifetime guaranteed. They're laser etched. And if for some reason they crack or something happens, they replace them for life for free. From what the proposal looks like, it's going to be very impressive. The only problem is it's almost 50 miles from my house. I told her, I says, once it's all done, you can pick me up and take me up there. I'm not driving up there. I want to see it when it's done, but I'm not driving up there. Hell, she lives up there. At least she's off restrictions and back on the line. Because I'll tell you what, when you're on restrictions at Ford, boy, do they give you some shit jobs. She was for about 2 weeks. They have shipping pallets. And the shipping pallets had the wrong bolts. So she had an impact gun, and there were 12 bolts per pallet. Take out the wrong ones, put in new ones. I said, you did that 8 hours a day for 2 weeks? She said, yeah. I said, bolts are bolts. Oh. Yeah, they'd come over with a forklift and drop a bunch of pallets. Boom. And her and another person that were on restriction. She said, Christ, she was almost ready to go out on restriction for her wrist. The only sad thing was no overtime. When you're on restriction, 8 hours, that's it. So, boy, she's been making up the overtime. Today she started at 3 a.m. and got off at 3 p.m. 12 hours. And her drive in the morning is at least 45 minutes. I was like, no wonder, I said, no wonder you're so goddamn tired. By the time you get home, make dinner, watch a little TV, Because in order to be to work at 3 a.m., she's got to get up like at 1:45. I was telling Kathy that over the weekend, probably Sunday, I will be doing the story of how my grandparents bought a car. My little sister requested. So, since I enjoy doing the story anyway, I'll be doing it once again. God, I wish I had a prop like that purse that she had. Boy, she clutched that thing. Although I'd look a little funny holding a purse. She had that typical 1940s, 1950s like clutch purse. It had a snap, a click shut. It had a little gold trim on it. She walked in. Tonight I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna make some spaghetti. I'm using jar sauce, but I'm loading it up with sliced hot Italian sausage and pepperoni. And I got me some angel hair pasta. I love angel hair pasta. I didn't feel like going to the store today. So I was like, well, gee, let's see. I've got the Italian sausage. I got pepperoni. I got an emergency jar of spaghetti sauce. I got a can of mushrooms. Over the weekend, I'm going to make my pickled beets and eggs. I have a couple of larger sauerkraut jars. And I figure they'll hold 4 eggs for sure, maybe 5. Because these are extra large. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chance boiling a dozen. And if I can fit 6 in each jar, that'll be great. Because I got whole beets. That way I can drop some beets in, put the eggs in, pour the beet brine in, and then stare at them every day in the fridge. Are you done yet? Are you done yet? Are you done yet? The recipe guy said leave them sit at least 2 weeks. I said, okay, I don't know if I can hold out that long, but we're going to try it. I can't remember the name of the spaghetti sauce. It's not Prego. Oh, I hate that stuff. Starts with a I want to say DiGiorno. It's not DiGiorno. Starts with a D though. DeLazio or something. It's actually pretty goddamn good jar spaghetti sauce. Not like, making it from scratch. I think it's like DeLazio or something like that. I have tried, believe me, every one because there's like 8 different kinds of spaghetti sauce. Prego is out. Were we working on our verses for the 12 Days of Grumpy Christmas? We got the first one. And a vulture in a dead tree. That's the first one. Mainly because I like it. Hey, straighten your banner. The hell's with you? Jesus. If I wouldn't get probably banned, I'm gonna try to find just the music. I don't know if there's any 12 Days of Christmas just music. But if I can find music, then we could sing it. I was kicking around a few rhymes. They didn't fit the music, though. You got to get them to fit the music. Like, a vulture in a dead tree. And then, like, when you get to the 5 part, 5 piles of roadkill. Ugh. Although that would go with a grumpy Christmas. Well, more a grumpy vulture Christmas. I mentioned that to my sister. She said, "You're sick." I said, I've got a weird sense of humor. I said, we came up with it accidentally last night. So we decided to make the 12 Days of Grumpy Christmas. Too bad I don't have an animator. Like, Nomad. Have him animate, each a vulture in a dead tree and have it. That would be great. Although I don't know how to edit that shit. But it would be cool. Play the music and then have pictures to go with it. Hey, Nomad, if you're listening, I might need your artist touch. I don't even think he listens anymore. It's sad. We lost him. We lost Mears. Mears was like, well, I had enough of him. Who else used to show up here on a kind of regular basis that hasn't been around? I guess what I'm going to have to do is the next time Shiz goes live, I'll have to pop into her chat and remind her I'm still alive. And Scotto. Yeah, it would be kind of cool. Play the music, sing the words, and have a picture to go with it. That would take a lot of editing. Oh. But it would be cool in the end. Especially if we had some really good verses. He's been popping in late lately. It's strange. Sometimes he'll be like number one in the door. And then other times we're half hour, 45 minutes in. Why, Ron, you enjoy reading his off the wall comments? It scared me that one night nobody showed up except him. I was like, oh. Well, the brake booster got here at 11 o'clock. And by 11:15, it was in Ryan's hands. Although he won't have the car done till Monday. Although I told him, I said, hey, even though I missed the hell out of it, take your time. Yeah, well, I give up. I give up, Ron. I'll tell you what, I felt sorry for him because he's there by himself. His father went on vacation. Went down to Guatemala. And I don't know how the hell working by himself he gets anything done. And the stupid people that stopped in today, I thought, oh, Jesus. He's an auto repair shop. Okay? It says auto repair shop, not auto body shop. Guy put a big scrape down the side of his minivan. He comes in. Of course, Ryan's under the hood trying to work on this vehicle. Come. They walk out and he points to this big dent. How much fix? Ryan said, I'm not a body shop. Well, you fix car. He said, I'm not a body shop. So I gave the guy directions to a body shop. I said, go up the third traffic light. When you pull out of here, you got 1, 2, go to the third traffic light. Turn right. Take that street all the way till it dead ends. At another traffic light. Turn right. Go over the bridge. There's another traffic light. Turn right. The body shop is right there. He stands there and looks at me like I got 3 heads. Tell me again. I said it's 3 right turns. Go to the third traffic light. Got that? See, look at that. 1, 2, and then see the next one. Look down the street. Turn right. That street will dead end into another street with a traffic light. Turn right. Go over the bridge. There'll be another traffic light. Turn right. Got it? Turn right 3 times. Yeah. But go to the 3rd traffic light first. Then turn right. Draw map. Oh, Jesus Christ. I said, no, I'm not going to draw a map. Come here. Stand here with me at the street. Look down the street. See the 2 traffic lights right in a row here? Okay, see that 3rd one down the street? Turn right. Right. I grabbed his right hand. Right. Turn right. Okay. Take that until it dead ends. There'll be a traffic light. I grabbed his hand again. Turn right. Right. Go over bridge. There'll be another traffic light. I took his hand again. Turn right. The body shop is on the right. Got it? I don't know if he ever found the place. It's 3 right turns. Very simple. Nothing complicated. Then I no sooner got rid of that guy for Ryan. In pulls a guy. The car is steaming like an old freight train. So, of course, Ryan's got to stop working on what he's working on. Comes out. Open the hood. Steam all over the place. Ryan, being a mechanic, he should know better. He went to open the radiator. Luckily, he had a big rag over it. As he turned the radiator cap, it blew off and hot water went everywhere. Luckily, he didn't get burned. Oh, come on! So, I looked at Ryan and I said, head gasket. He says, are you sure? I said, look at the tailpipe. It's blowing steam like a freight train. So the car cooled down a little bit. Ryan filled it with water. I said, tell him to start the car. He goes to put the radiator cap on. I said, no. Tell him to start the car. He turns the key to start the car, and water comes out of the radiator like Mount Vesuvius. I said, head gasket. So the guy was like, oh, how much? Ryan said, you'd be better off getting another car. So we got rid of him. We poured more water in the radiator and went, see ya. In comes a guy with a flat tire. It's not only flat, it looks like he's been driving on it for a week. He gets out of the car. He says, air. I looked at the tire and I said, you could hook a compressor to that tire. It ain't never going to hold air. I said, the tires beat the shit. Oh, it'll take air. So I went in the garage and I said, don't worry, Ryan, I'll handle this. I gave the guy the air hose and I said, here, air up your tire. I said, I told you ain't going to hold air. You need a tire. I don't have a spare. I says, well, how far do you live from here? He said, oh, about 5 blocks. I said, the tire should stay on the rim for 5 blocks. Just drive slow. People today, the tire was beat to shit. He wanted air. So I handed him the air hose here. He puts the air hose on the stem. As fast as it went in, it was coming out. I said to Ryan, I says, does this shit go on all day? He says, yeah. I said, tell your father no more trips to Guatemala. Matter of fact, I said, tell your father no more trips to guiding llamas. He looked at me. I said, yeah, isn't he down in Guatemala guiding llamas? No, he's visiting relatives. There went that joke. God, I hope his father's back next week. Because once he gets started on that booster and the master cylinder, he can't keep stopping. Yeah, I found out my FedEx girl's name. It's Caitlin. The little pixie. Caitlin. Because it was on my tracking. It said, Caitlin is en route to deliver your package. And then when she got here, I said, are you Caitlin? Yes. I said, oh. She goes, how do you know? I said, it's on the website. It's pretty cool. Their FedEx tracking is just like my medical delivery from the hospital. You can watch her drive down the street. Because she made a stop halfway between where she delivered a package and my house. The truck is... And then a few minutes later... And when it showed it in front of my house, I met her at the side door. Kind of cool. I wonder what all was in that UPS plane going to Hawaii. Can you imagine waiting for an important package only to find out that your package burnt to a crisp? That would be my luck. waiting for a power booster. Uh-oh. Yeah, I was following that thing closely. So it got here. I didn't even open it. I threw the box in the truck. I drove right up to Ryan. I went, here, look at this. We cut the box open, took the box out with the power booster in it. He opened the box and went, that's the one. I said, I hope so. The guy at ZF told me it was the right one. And it's made in Germany. Because the guy told me, he said these are the same power boosters that go on the assembly line. Matter of fact, on the label on the box, it said for 98 to 2001 Passat 1.8 turbo. I'd like, that's the one. So I'll have a new power booster, I'll have a new master cylinder, and I should have brakes like new. Well, I got new pads on the back. And I told Ryan, I said, if you have to replace the pads on the front, which they look like they got 75% wear left on them, I said, don't worry about it. I'll take care of them. Because I have a brand new set of front brake pads. Because I ordered front and back. He asked me, he said, why didn't you put them on? I said, look at the brake pads. They're like brand new. Hopefully, when he gets done, I'll stop getting that stupid idiot light that says, check brake pads. Although it's possible that the wear sensor in one of the sets on either front wheel might be bad. Because they have built-in electronic wear sensors. But I told them, I said, hey, go easy on the labor. Forget the oil change right now. Just put that in, get me brakes, that's it. Goddamn car's turning into a money pit. I'm starting to really wonder if I really want that Corvette. Part of me says yes, and part of me says no. Because that thing has sat 6 years. The yes part of me keeps going, yeah, but you'd look good driving a red Corvette convertible in the summer. And the no part of me keeps going, look how much you spent on the Passat already, asshole. Although, that would be a good summer project car. But like I told him, I want to hear it run. I told them I'll buy a battery, put a battery in. I want to hear it run. Then I want to make sure the clutch works. If it starts up and the clutch works, okay. I can put up with any other idiosyncrasies in that car. But I want that, oh man. Corvette. A chick magnet. Not the way that car looks. Oh. Although I was thinking, I could buy red wrap and wrap the car. And that way I don't have to worry about a paint job. I've been watching a lot of automotive wrapping videos. Of course, they make it look easy. Now, just smooth it out, little heat gun, done. I don't know yet. I haven't got over to get the VIN number off of it. It's behind a locked gate. I think it's early 90s vintage. I don't know what year they started with the C4. And then I'm pretty sure it's a C4. It could be, a late 80s, early 90s. I don't know. I got to get the VIN number off of it. And I'm not about to climb over a 6-foot gate. Although I really don't care what the paint looks like. I'm just going to use it for a grocery getter anyway. I'm not going to no fucking car show with it. Although pretty fancy grocery getter. Plus, I got to see how much my goddamn insurance would go up. Because eventually I'm going to need a replacement for the shit box. Because that truck ain't going to stay together much longer. What really pisses me off is the way the guy hit it. He busted the parking light and the fender's all crinkled. And I just bought them goddamn parking lights about 6 months ago. because the one was all cracked. So I like, oh, I'll buy a new pair. Now I'm just gonna duct tape it on the edge of the fender. I don't give a shit anymore. All right, Ron. Good for you. Now you got to get that house. Now you got working time. Let's get that house and get away from the elephants that live upstairs. You're going to end up having to call a moving company, aren't you, Ron? It's rusting away. The rocker panel's just about gone on the right side. You can't step in and sit on the right side or you go right through the floor. All the supports for the bed have already rotted away. The bed dropped. The bed's about ready to fall in the street. Matter of fact, I've got a ratchet strap wrapped around the back end of the bed to keep the tailgate on. It's a rolling disaster. But it just runs so nice. Yeah, I don't know if I'd put LED lights in a croissant. That one's for you, Ron. Well, you can't be loading a truck. Maybe small stuff, Ron. You don't want to overdo it, buddy. You're going to need a crew to move you out. Don't be pushing your luck. I know you want to, get out of there and get in your own house, but that's why I say you're going to have a crew. And make sure, which I don't have to tell you, but make sure the guys you hire aren't a bunch of, jack wagons where they're throwing shit around. Like when I moved from up the street down here, a bunch of my son's friends came in to help. Oh, Jesus. Some of my power tools disappeared. I had a brand new Ryobi angle grinder in the box, brand new. Didn't even open the box. Gone. I had a couple other Ryobi power tools. Gone. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure I'm missing a couple of boxes of my 1/18 scale die cast stuff too. Although I got to start going through them boxes once I'm housebound here, because a friend of mine got me. It's a 124 scale Ford Crown Victoria police car, and it's got Cleveland police emblems on it. Looks just like one of the old police cars, and I can't find it. And I hate having to go through each and every one of them boxes. Although, see, part of it, Kathy, is my fault. Because I should have moved all the tools myself. And I should have waited to order the angle grinder and the sawzall and the one power drill until I was here. But I was afraid they would all sell out before I could order them, because I got them from that overstock Home Depot warehouse down in Texas. Man, the deals I got, holy shit, like that lawnmower, god damn. $389 in the store. I paid $214. And like the angle grinder, in the store it was $89. I got it for $34. Then I had to order a second one because the first one vanished. Went up in thin air. Because as I moved in, I put all the Ryobi power tools in one area. And when I went to look for the angle grinder, gee, it was gone. I don't think it ever made it here. Yeah, that sucks, doesn't it? Oh, I didn't think you wanted it. Gee, I wouldn't have asked you to hold on to it if I didn't want it. Oh, don't remind me of Crocs. That pisses me off that my Croc broke. Can't make dill pickles anymore. You know, that's like, there was a video on YouTube, gotta be 6, 8 months back. And this girl had her grandmother's house. Now, in the will, her grandmother left her house and furnishings, okay? she ends up, now she's in the Army. She ends up getting shipped out to Iran or Iraq. And she's over there for a couple of months. Now, everything was set up on auto pay. The utilities, everything was covered. She gets a message from her neighbor who asked her if she was moving. And she said, no, why? Well, your mother and your brother are having a big house sale. So she was smart. She contacted an Army attorney. And the attorney said, oh, they can't do that. So he put things into motion, and they ended up, she got almost everything back because the attorney did a news story about how the mother and the brother ripped her off. And the brother ended up with charges and went to jail for 5 years. You cannot rip off a service person, especially when you had no right to go in the house. But her brother was a drug addict and needed money. So he called a locksmith, and the locksmith unlocked the house. And then the brother convinced the mother that she wanted the stuff sold. And when the Army attorney says to her, do you want to press charges against your brother? And she went, hell yes. And he ended up with burglary charges and something else. He got 5 years. And she got almost everything back except her grandmother's hope chest. She didn't get the hope chest back, but she got all the quilts that her grandmother had handmade. Because when the news story hit, people were like, holy shit, I've got stolen merchandise. And they were going to the police station in droves. Here. She got all the furniture back, all the antiques, except for the hope chest. That person didn't give it up. They didn't know where it went. And she said, thank God my nosy neighbor was paying attention to what was happening at my house. As a matter of fact, a group of contractors felt so bad that they completely remodeled her kitchen at no charge. And they painted the whole interior of the house. They asked her, they said, okay, what color you want the living room, dining room, bedrooms, and when she finally, her tour of duty was up, She came home to like a brand new house, and her brother doing 5 years in prison. And the mother got probation. And they asked her if she felt bad, and she said, no. I'm serving my country, and my brother and my mother steal my shit. Yeah, I decided to go with palm trees today. Let me aim that light back. You can see they're actually. I should turn the blue lights off because the palm. I should turn them to white. Yeah, it's my palm trees. Tomorrow, I think we're going to have the Hawaiian waterfall. I've got it set up so it only takes me 5 minutes to swap the backgrounds now. So I'm going to start a different background every day. I think tomorrow will be the Hawaiian waterfall. Now I can't remember what the other one is. I got one that's like a big fancy backyard pond. And then after those, then we're going to do all 10 different newsrooms. Crazy, I think I got 30 different backgrounds. Oh, I went crazy. Although I don't know if I'll change microphones. I think I'll stick with this one for a couple of days. I kind of like the blue lights in it. Because the red and the orange MXL, they don't have lights in them. They're just an orange mic and a red mic. They're kind of boring. Matter of fact, tomorrow, I got to take the goddamn air conditioner out of my bedroom window. Jesus. I got it covered with plastic right now, and that ain't doing it. It's still cold in there. I don't know. I keep procrastinating. I looked at it this morning and went, well, I got to take that out of the window. And then that thought went out of my head. Why do I keep getting caught here? Yeah, I think if I put that waterfall up, I'm going to have to try to change the lighting. Because like the blue, it washes, it washes the color out of the background. But if I go with straight white, it's too damn bright. I have to try to figure a way to dim it down. See, the white, it washes washes the color out. I have to try to figure a way of aiming the light and putting a filter on it. That's the problem with these professional studio lamps. They don't dim down enough. Although they're supposed to be like mounted in the ceiling. I'm not going to all that bullshit. I'll have to. One of these days, I'm going to have to bring out the big studio lamp. The big honking monster with the barn doors on it. My buddy's son sent it to me. He went, "Here, I'm not using this one anymore." I turned it on. I was like, holy shit. It was like a sun lighting up in here. Of course, it's made for, a big studio. Not this little dinky. So what are you having for dinner tonight, Ron? I know you put it up here. I wasn't paying attention to the chat. He's probably out in the kitchen cooking right now as we speak. Don't you have me on your iPad? Yeah, and tomorrow I'm going to call the district commander, Officer Adams. I'm going to say, what, you have a goddamn police car that sits out here 2 hours and that's it? Because it didn't cure anything. They were still blowing the goddamn stop signs today. Yeah, he writes like 6 tickets and then, that's it. Okay, we're done. She's going to regret giving me her police department personal cell phone number. God, Kathy, I remember back in the day when Cleveland finally equipped the officers with two-way radios, portable. Now look, every cop on the force has a cell phone. I would hate to pay the city cell phone bill. I'll tell you that. What do we got? Something like 650 police officers? Something like that. Everybody's got a cell phone. Every single cop's got a cell phone. And they're all iPhones. Jesus. Wasn't the commander, it was a traffic officer. You think a commander does any work? Sits there at his desk all day. But Officer Adams ain't going to want to hear from me tomorrow. Hey, what is this shit? Now, Kathy, you see why I kind of lose my mind? The only good thing, now I wasn't out there the whole time, but for the 4 people he caught in rapid succession, he wrote tickets. Because I told the commander and I told Officer Adams, no warnings. I don't want to see this warning shit. So I know for positive he wrote 4 tickets right in a row. Because I saw the pink copy get torn out of the ticket book and go in the window. But for the rest of the time he was there. Although I'll tell you what, he looked like a prick. Because when he got the second guy, I said to him as he got out of the car, he says, it's about time we're writing tickets out here. And he just gave me one of them dirty stink eye looks. Christ, he was a little short guy. Jesus Christ. He looked like he was barely 5 foot tall. I thought a kid was getting out of the cruiser. I was like, evidently, Cleveland doesn't have any height requirement anymore. They're just taking whoever applies. Because he looked barely 5 foot tall. Barely. Looked like a teenage kid. Stepped out of the car, was like, the hell's this? Give me a dirty look. I stood there watching him. Because I'll tell you, had he given a warning, I'd have been all over him like stink on shit. No goddamn warnings. That sign that says STOP means stop, not pause, not go through fast, not ignore me. Stop. Although it was hilarious. While he was writing the ticket, 3 of the offenders that have been blowing that sign came to a dead stop. And then I'm thinking to myself, you asshole. But I love the guy that blew the stop sign when he was at the other stop sign stopped across the street. He's sitting at the stop sign and the guy goes, I'm like, You blew a stop sign right in front of a cop. You didn't even slow down. And as soon as the lights come on and he started to hang a Yui, the guy pulled over immediately, put his four ways on. But I'm like, how goddamn stupid can you be? There's a marked police car at the stop sign on the other side of the street, and you blow right through the stop sign like you normally do. I'm going to have to look up and see how much stop sign tickets are. I'm pretty sure they're considered a moving violation, which is good for 2 points on your license. I have to check the motor vehicle laws, but I'm pretty sure if you blow a stop sign, it's like blowing a red light. It's considered a moving violation and it's good for 2 points. And all tickets in the state of Ohio are reported to the Ohio Insurance Board. So besides getting 2 points on your license, you might get a little rate increase. Of course, you know, goddamn city of Cleveland is so poor we can't afford automatic number plate readers. If the cars had those, like they do over in England, we'd be writing a lot of tickets. Although in Ohio, I don't think you get a ticket for not having insurance. Over in England, oh, if you get stopped over in England and you don't have car insurance, they seize your car and crush it. You can't get it back. Well, a little block when they get done. They don't care what kind of car it is. You get stopped and you don't have car insurance. The car gets impounded and then crushed. They don't screw around over there. Not one bit. Matter of fact, it was hilarious. There was a YouTube video, and this guy had I think it was a Vauxhall, and they crushed his car, and they set the block down. It was like about the size of a steamer trunk. And the door lock wasn't hurt. There was a door handle and a door lock on the side of this crushed block. And the guy walked over and he stuck his key in it. And the key turned. He happened to be there when they were crushing his car. You know, like I say, they don't mess around over there. There's two things you have to have: car insurance and an annual inspection. And if you don't have the sticker in your window, you get a big ticket for that. It's expensive. We need to adopt their way of traffic laws. I would have a good time watching that. Yeah, the machine crushes it into a block. There's a matter of fact, there's a couple of YouTube videos showing the car crushers over there. They pick it up with a big claw. All the glass breaks. They drop it in the crusher. Then the claw goes in and pulls out a block. Yeah, England and I'm trying to think, England and Wales, Scotland, all the countries over there in that area. If you don't have car insurance, kiss your car goodbye if they stop you. Because they're going to crush it. Damn back's been bothering me today. I don't know why. So how's the hand doing, Kathy? Getting better? Healing up? That light's driving me crazy. Oh, you saw him doing a crush? It is so, it's cool, isn't it? That claw comes down, grabs it by the roof, all the windows break, takes it, picks it up, drops it, and the claw goes in and picks up a block. And they don't care if it's a 20-year-old car or a brand new Rolls Royce. If you don't have insurance, you're going to get a lawn ornament when they're done. Although their police chases are hilarious. In America, they frickin' chase you, pit you, destroy your car. Over in England, they chase you, and then you finally stop. Would you mind stepping back to our motor for a chat? Okay. British cops are so fucking polite. Would you step back to our motor for a chat? Oh, I sure. And bring your details. They don't ask you, driver's license, proof of insurance, MOT. Do you have your details? Oh, why, yes. Step back to our motor for a chat. They don't call it a car, a police crew, it's your motor. No, I saw the email. I got sidetracked. I'll watch it in the morning. Yeah, I was going through my emails and I saw it, and then I got a phone call, and then my brake booster showed up, so I put my coat on and dashed out. And when I came home, I forgot to look at it. I'll look at it in the morning. I read my email first thing in the morning. Because I have my morning routine. Get up, hit the bathroom, take my blood pressure, go make coffee, get dressed, check my eBay shipping, read my email. Because my doctor wants me to take my blood pressure first thing in the morning. What I do is I open my AOL, I read whatever news stories catch my eye, then I check my eBay tracking on whatever I ordered. I check my Temu tracking on whatever I ordered. Then I read my email. Because I'm waiting for what am I waiting for on Temu? Oh, my crowfoot wrenches. I ordered crowfoot wrenches. That's not that Chinese guy, is it? I saw some blip about some Chinese guy that does a Trump impersonation. Like a Chinese guy looks like Trump. Yeah, that's it for the coffee. I have a different brand coming next week. Pete's. I never heard of it. Peets. Pete's. Dark roast. Yeah, it's dark roast. I think French roast coffee. My neighbor is bragging about, oh, you gotta try Pete's. Okay. And then he no sooner tells me to try Pete's, and then he buys Tim Hortons. Now all of a sudden in the store, that's all you see. Tim Hortons, Tim Hortons, Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons is the Starbucks of Canada. Yeah, because my niece lives up in Canada. And down here we have Starbucks. Up there they have Tim Horton. No new doorbell. By the time I went to order, they were out of stock, sold out. That's all right. I don't need another toy. Oh, gee, park it already. About time. Jesus Christ. The goddamn backup thing. Beep, 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 beep. Not to drive me crazy. It's bad enough at 7 o'clock in the morning, a goddamn construction crew down the street. Beep, 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 beep. Then I gotta put up with him. I'm half tempted to sneak over there and cut the wires on the backup alarm. Have you been watching some of the clips of how nasty Trump is to the press corps? God, the one guy, I can't remember whether he was CNN or Associated Press, asked a question. Trump said, You're not qualified to be a reporter. All you do is report negative news, ask negative questions. One guy, he told him to get out of the Oval Office. Get out of the room. You have no talent whatsoever. Get out of the room. As a matter of fact, he doesn't want any Democratic reporters. I heard him say that the other day. I don't want any Democratic reporters. All Republicans. Oh, yeah, if you say anything he doesn't like, oh, does he cop an attitude? I mean, any other president, if you asked a negative question, at least he would answer. Trump tells them they have no talent, they shouldn't be a reporter. They have, the one reporter, he said, you have hate in your heart. I don't like you. You have hate in your heart. He has to remember he's president, not emperor. God, talk about losing his mind. Yeah, Trump probably thought he did that on purpose. Grandstanding, you know. I mean, the guy has got a problem, a major problem. And, you know, like with the government shutdown, he thought for sure the Democrats would cave in and give him his way. And he don't like it that they're standing their ground. Every time somebody asks about the shutdown, he gets all pissed off. Well, the goddamn Democrats are causing this. Blame them. No, you can't have everything your way. Not when you're dealing with the American public, and now people on food stamps aren't getting any food stamps. The money ran out. Yeah, like he said like Azerbaijan and Albania and the countries are like 1,000 miles apart. Yeah, he stopped a war. He don't even know what he's talking about anymore. Yeah, he said like Azerbaijan and Albania. Well, no, they weren't at war. You didn't stop anything. Like over on the Gaza Strip. He ain't stopped that. They're still fighting. It's pretty goddamn sad that he don't even know what he's talking about half the time. Then when he insulted the Prime Minister of Japan, when he brought up, you know, when we bombed Hiroshima and Nagasaki, you know, oh, our relationship started out of the ashes of war. She looked at him like, yeah, and you caused it. You guys dropped the bomb on us. Then he puts his arm around her. Oh, God. I thought for sure her security personnel was going to throw him on the floor. Let's see how many more countries it can piss off. Oh, Jesus! I better tone it down. I'll get banned from YouTube next. And then he's planning on pulling something sneaky when his term is up to run for vice president, and then whoever gets elected president would step down and he would be appointed president. I don't think so. The American public ain't going to be that dumb. Well, you can thank all them people that voted for him. Although I keep saying, had Biden stepped down a year early, Kamala Harris would have had a real decent chance. But he stepped down too late. Because I really think she'd have got elected. You know, he keeps saying, oh, America will never elect a female president. Right now, anything's better than him. Yeah, he's already got hats. Trump 2028. Passing them out in the Oval Office. Here, guys. Here. He spends more goddamn money on fucking hats. And I think it looks utterly disgusting when you step off of Air Force One wearing a fucking baseball hat. God. Get serious already. Well, I think we're going to cut it a few minutes short. I got a lot of prep work to do for my spaghetti sauce. I don't want to be eating at 11 o'clock. Oh, yeah, that's because he's buddy-buddy with the Chinese Prime Minister now. All right, peoples, it's that time. I don't want to be eating at midnight. We know where, right here. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Thanks for being here. And we will meet again tomorrow.